welcome to a special edition of G-Force TV as we're here at the Motorama Custom Car Show and Exposition. So much amazing material going on here today, and iron that you could never imagine. Cars, people, action. It's pretty wild here at Motorama. It's kind of the annual gathering for everything motorsports here in Ontario, and it kicks off every March. In this edition, we're going to talk to some of the players here in the Ontario racing scene and a lot of the other people you're going to see with us this summer here on G-Force TV. Stick in and hang out as we'll take you around Motorama. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Motorama show here at the International Center. We're in the Fast Eddie booth, and as you can see, tons of great deals here, always to be had at the Fast Eddie booth. One of our great partners, as you know, and they've got everything you could ever imagine, whether it be for your crew, your family, your love of racing, whatever you want to show off or make yourself and your image better. Fast Eddie's got it. It's all here at the show. One of our great partners. Take a look at some of the stuff they've got to offer here this weekend. Well, now we're here with Alex Nagy, Director of Motorsports for United Racing Series. Alex, that sounds like an important title. Yeah. But you oversee quite a bit. How's it been working with, the United Racing Series the past couple seasons?
It's been great to, just to stay involved in the sport with your cast at closing. You're involved, but not hands-on stuff. So, there's all kinds of free time on weekends and at night. So it's been great to stay involved with the drivers, the teams on the sponsorship side. So it's been a blast.
Let's talk about it. It's a hot series right now, developing with the quick super stocks plus the late models. Now the kind of absorption of the Oscar Series 2 and Dave Gainforth and all they built. I mean, there's no secret that the hot rods are a booming class right now. Modifieds put on some great shows. What does that mean, and how does that change basically the mission for the URS?
It changes a lot. I mean, I think the URS United Racing Series have had that mission since the start. Of course, obviously, time, people, it's hard to make that expansion. And when you're growing like crazy like they were with the late model stuff, it's hard to, get traction or enough time to be able to take that next step. So as they got, the late model thing became, I don't want to say under control, but established. And I think the timing with me having some free time and Oscar looking to take that next step himself. Dave Gainforth, like you said, has done so much with that group, and everybody else before him for the 30 years of Oscar has done such a great job. But, he also knew that that's as far as he could go. So it's really, the timing was great. It's all about timing in this business, as you know, and timing was great. It's been a lot of work in the off season, bringing everything together. Of course, behind the scenes stuff people don't see, but that's part of it. And the response has been great. The teams have embraced it. I think they're looking forward to being part of the umbrella of the United Racing Series and what we can bring forward. So it's been good. It's been really good, well received.
Car counts are always up and down from year to year. It's like ebb and flow, like wave year over year. What's the feeling going in over those four classes? Car count's going to be up again?
I think it is. We've got on the Oscar stuff, the modifieds and the hot rods, the registrations have been great. I mean, it's pleasantly surprising. The late models and the super stocks are on scale to be like they were last year, but there's people that haven't registered yet because they're waiting. And people like just announced this weekend with Junior Farley with his PV sponsorship, brand new corporation coming to the series, which is awesome. We have people like Ridgeline and Castrol and Pennzoil and Daco, and the corporate side is growing like crazy. So that's a credit to G-Force, I think. It's a credit to what we bring as a program, and it just seems to be snowballing. So we have people like Junior, like I said, coming back full time. Billy Zardo, the third, he's coming full time, and that's plus there's new people full time and everybody else that's coming back. So it looks great.
Alex, one of the hard things that you guys face as a series, and it's always that balance with yourself and the tracks. How do you kind of work on the balance that you make the tour strong, but don't hurt the weekly divisions at these speedways? It seems to be something that gets brought up in meeting after year, but it's also something the series is sensitive to.
Absolutely. We understand that if the weekly stuff's not strong, we're nowhere. So it's super, super important. And I can tell you that there has been growth in late model racing long before me helping these guys. The United Racing Series and the APC Late Model Series have grown late model racing as a whole in this province. So when we had the Nationals at Jacasa, we had 30, 40 APC late models with another 30, 40, or 50 from somewhere else. So it's done the series is, like you said, very sensitive to that. The series have always tried to tie in local track programs, whether it's a tire program for attendance, wherever they could do it. And I think overall, I don't think that Delaware late models is strong, and there's very little APC involvement there on a Friday night. I know Flamborough's has been decent. Sunset's trying to get theirs rolling now. So I think sometimes it's perceived as a racetrack that it hurts, and I understand that. But overall, it's definitely been a benefit.
Last one for you, Alex. What's the one thing that concerns you going into the season? What's the thing you're trying to put to better? What's the hardest thing you got to deal with right now?
I think just costs. And it's no different, and not just costs at the racetrack, costs at home. We can't control any of that, but what it costs for everything right now. So really sensitive to that. We've got 3 extended length races this year coming up, and our, the 2 150 lap races, we're not even looking to extend how many tires they can have. So we want to add more to the series without adding cost if we can help it. So that's the big thing, is just, the rules have stayed the same for the past 3 years. That's important. And just fuel and tires and stuff that you throw away is expensive. So you have to have that stuff, but at the same time, we're trying to limit it.
Right, Alex, thanks for your time. Good luck at the show this weekend.
Thank you.
Watch for APC and United Racing Series Media Day coming up Saturday, April 22nd at Delaware. We'll be there to catch it all right here on G-Force. We're here with Carson Nagy. Carson, back here at Motorama. I think last year we did Media Day, and you just showed me a whole new side of your personality. We always thought you're shy. You got a bit of comedy in you, but getting ready for Delaware and some other projects you're working on, what are you most excited about?
I'm looking forward to getting back to Delaware full time. We had a lot of success early in the season and just had some bad luck at the end, so I'm hoping to turn that around and just stay consistent. I'm looking forward to the Quick Look Series again. I think the competition's going to be even tougher than last year, and I think it's going to be a really good year for that series.
With only about 5 races on that series, how important is every event?
It's so important. If you mess up one night, then you're out of it almost. So you got to be sure to stay consistent and continue to finish up front. Whether you're in the top 5 or 10, you just got to try and stay there. No matter how bad your car is, or if you get in a wreck, you just got to stay on the track and try at least, right?
Carson, you're getting involved in a lot more of the media side. What takes you out of the seat, and what interests you there in that side of things?
So in high school a few years ago, I started to take a course, and as soon as I started that course, it seemed like it started to get more important for social media and within racing, whether it was NASCAR or this. So I kind of took an interest to that and started to do my own stuff, and from there it expanded to doing my business RPM Racewear, RPM Graphics, and just as soon as I saw it starting to get more important within the community, that's when I kind of found a liking to it.
What's the one thing you're most excited about the upcoming season?
I'm really looking forward to getting back on the track and just having some fun. That's the main goal with this, and hopefully we can stay up front.
Right on. Another one of the stars, the Quick Superstock Series, Carson Nagy. Guys, watch for this guy out here. I'm standing here with one of the youngest NASCAR owners. Jim, you've been around a while.
A while.
What was your first touch with NASCAR?
My first touch with NASCAR was in 1957. I went to a convertible race with one of the top drivers there, Billy Rafter, who's still alive in his 90s, just outside of Niagara Falls. And we were there in a convertible race, and Glenn Wood was there by himself and with his 56 Ford convertible, and he had a problem with the clutch slipping, so I helped him get the car up in the air, change the clutch. So I became a friend of the Wood brothers that day, and still am. And I got my Grand National driver's license that day, but I bought a 56 Mercury, had been a 55 originally from a fellow in Buffalo, and I never did run the car. So my first license with NASCAR as a licensed driver in the Cup Series was 1957. I still have that license. I took it to a race last year, and they wouldn't let me use it as my credential.
Jim, let's talk about being a car owner today in the modern age of NASCAR Canada. You know, you could do so many times with your twilight years here. What brings you back as a car owner to the series year after year?
I don't know about the twilight years part, but it's with any business, it's not as much the business as the people you meet and know. And there's some great people in the series. It's a superb series, really. And it's as much to do with the people you get to meet that you wouldn't have met if you hadn't been in the racing and hadn't been in the series.
Well, Jim is one of the best owners we got here. 90 years young and still at. Jim, we appreciate you helping us out.
Yeah, I think that I claim, and I'm pretty sure I know I'm the oldest active car owner in a national series in NASCAR, because Pinty's is a national series, it's not a regional series. So I'm the oldest, also the oldest pilot in Canada, apparently, but whatever. You know.
Where'd you fly to last?
Just locally, a few weeks ago. I've been too busy to fly much lately, but we'll get back at it. Yeah.
All right, Jim, thanks for your time today.
Okay, thank you.
Jim Bray, guys, NASCAR original here at the Motorama show. We're here at the two-speed Motorsports booth, and Joe and Corey, you know, this is kind of a new venture for you guys. We all know about Caldecott and what they do in the manufacturing business, but take us through this, Joe. You know, you got brought on board to start manufacturing, producing the parts that these guys need in the pit. So tell us a bit about what Two Speed's at before we get to Corey here.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, over the off season, we had a chance to sit down and talk about some of the ideas that Corey had, his team had, about bringing it to the market. You know, he had been making jack stands, he'd been making parts and pieces and implements for his own race team, and selling them, you know, just to friends within the industry. And I had a job opening. You know, I was looking for work, and we sat down and kind of put a plan together just on a napkin, basically. And you know, we talked about it in detail over the course of, you know, 5 to 6 weeks, and really put a cool plan together. It was like something exploded. You know, it was one of those exciting things where everything kind of fell into place, and you know, we decided to bring some really neat products to market and have plans to bring some even more cool things to market as well. So, you know, it's been a whirlwind so far. You know, January 1st, we had, 4 jack stands and a handful of gear pots. And now we've got distribution across the country and building towards that. And we've got 22 SKUs on offer with another 16 on the drawing board. So it's been a growing venture and been a lot of fun to be a part of.
Joe, there's one thing that has exploded. It's been the product line. I mean, we watched this thing on social, as you mentioned, started with a couple of products, and now you're gone. What's the next hottest thing that's coming out?
So we've actually just launched our setup stands. We've been really teasing them back and forth over the last 3 weeks. Corey and his team on the development side with Caldecott have developed the full line. So it depends on if you want, you know, up high with pull down options, or if you want to go on the economical side with a steel unit. We've got the whole gamut covered. So that's, you know, the the thing that we're really proud of and pushing right now, and as well, we're getting into more and more of the consumable items. So the stuff in the shop, you ultimately want to buy once and not have to buy it again. The consumable items like the body braces and parts and pieces on the race car that wear out are where we're headed. So it's the sky's kind of the limit. And the neat part is we're so small and nimble. We're doing a lot of custom work as well. So just this weekend, we've had numerous guys come up and say, hey, can you make this, right? Or a certain part or piece, and that's going to be something that we build into the future.
Before we jump in with Corey, Joe, tell us where the customers can maybe get a hold of you guys online and through the socials.
Yeah, for sure. So get2speed.com or 2speedmotorsports.com. Check us out on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, 2Speed Motorsports, and check us out, reach us out anytime, and my email's on there, phone number as well, and if you have any ideas or parts and pieces that you need for your race team, give us a holler and we can go from there.
Well, we know Caldecott. We got Corey here. Corey, let's talk about how this has really exploded. Joe's come on board. Are you shocked how fast this rocket ship has taken off?
It's came together really quickly. It's just all about putting the right people in the right places and getting things done. We want to be a Canadian manufacturer, and we got the support with Caldecott behind that, doing our manufacturing, and Joe's on the marketing and service side, and just getting a good product out there for a good price, and taking care of the Ontario racer was our goal, and I think that's what we're doing.
You guys have continued to expand, picking up other businesses. Is this the end for Caldecott and your group, or are you going to continue? You have other things in the pipeline?
No, this is nowhere near the end. We got a lot more coming, and my goal was when we bought Caldecott back in 2015, myself and my wife, I want to be at 9 companies before we're done. So we got a bit to go yet, a lot of ideas to go, and it's a lot of work, but we're digging.
Right on. There's your story, guys. One of the up-and-coming Canadian companies here manufacturing products right here in Canada for the Canadian market, and it's great to see. Make sure you check out get2speed.com. Give us a couple minutes. We'll be right back here on G-Force TV to show you more of the Motorama Custom Car Show.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasta sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Welcome back to Motorama and G-Force TV. Special look at what's going on here this weekend. Let's jump into another interview, cruising around Motorama. Kyle Steckley. Kyle, you got your car on display here at the APC Delaware booth, a place you ran very well. What's your plans this year? Full-time APC, selected NASCAR Pinty Series. What's got you the most pumped up?
Yeah, just being back to the racetrack. Went down to Florida this winter and, been working on the car, working hard to try and get it better for this year. Learned a lot going down to Florida, so I'm ready to get back to the track with the late model and just keep pushing and go for wins in the APC Series every weekend.
Now, we've seen you crew chief in the NASCAR Pinty Series on the dirt last year. How's that help you? Can you pick up anything from the other side of the radio?
Yeah, absolutely. watching Stuart race at Ush Weekend was really cool. It was a great opportunity, and I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot from working working on my own stuff, working on my own cars, and helping make decisions from the other side, outside of the car, and adjusting. So I definitely think it's a benefit as a driver, and it helps the driver understand the car better, and you can make better adjustments.
So we saw your first race in the APC series where you picked up a win, so that sets the bar really high. What kind of bar are you setting for yourself this year? Is it championship bound? Is it pickup wins? Just finish races? What kind of goals and strategy are you guys setting forth this early in the year?
Yeah, for the APC series, I think we're going for championship. You know, last year was the first time for me at a lot of tracks, a lot of first times at the track for our team. So I think we built a good notebook last year, got a lot of laps in at other tracks, and I think this year we're ready. We have a good notebook. We know what we want to do, and we know what we want in the car. I know what I want in the car, and we're going for wins every weekend, and hopefully we can end up with the championship.
All right, let's play a little game. Tell me what's Kyle Steckley's biggest weakness and biggest strength are.
I think my biggest strength is working on the car every week, knowing the car inside and out, and knowing what I want the car to do. My biggest weakness is probably working on the car too much. I don't have time to go on iRacing enough, do more of the driver's things like workout, simulator, watch video as much as some other guys.
So that's one thing you're feeling you're lacking. You'd rather spend more time practicing and working out instead of working in the car. But a lot of veterans will say what you're doing is just as important.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think it is important. I think it's important to do it all, but there's a lot of time into that. So I'm hoping this year I can spend a bit more time on the sim, a bit more time working on my physical strength as I move into some bigger races and higher classes. So I'm hoping that with that I can take a bit of time away from the car as I have learned the car and I know everything about the car. I can take a small step back and spend some time on other things.
Right on. One of the up-and-coming stars we're going to be talking a lot about this year and in the future, Kyle Steckley, folks. Keep your eye on this kid. Here with Dave Gainforth from Oscar. Dave, you know, a lot of people wonder how this new mix works between United Racing Series and Oscar. You're still involved. We speak to Alex too. What's the story?
What's the story? Well, actually, Oscar is still Oscar. APC is still doing their thing. We're just all under one banner now of United Racing Series. The reason why we did this is just to help promote all four series, to help them build up sponsorship-wise, driver-wise, more publicity for the drivers, and it just provides more stability for our division, really. And that's what Oscar was lacking, some stability going into the future. What's the response been from a lot of your teams? You know, are they excited about this new association? Yes, they are. They're very excited about it. Some of them are very apprehensive at the first because they don't know. There was a lot of unknowns at first until we did get the rules out and had meetings and talked to the guys. But now they know it's business as usual. We're hiring some new staff members that we were lacking. That's only going to make our show better as well. And things are looking very positive for us, and registration-wise, and looking for 2023. Dave, this also puts you guys in line with some of the larger series as far as building these events. That makes your scheduling easier, right? Yes, it does. Oscar still has basically our own schedule, just like we did last year visiting all the tracks. APC has their own, and United Quick Series has theirs. The Delaware, though, they're all there together as big weekends, as you're part of there as well, and with the Pinty Series and everything else. And it just creates more excitement, bigger shows, and again, more publicity for the fans, better racing, and for the drivers. Dave, about 5 years ago, this Hot Rod Series took a massive amount of growth. Are you still seeing the number of new competitors come into the deal? It's slowed down some. We did experience huge growth at the start, more than I ever expected it to. I think last year we had over 50-some cars registered to come out and race sometime with us. Are we getting new people? Yes, we're still getting new people. I think we got 5 or 6 new rookies for this year, which I don't think is bad, you know, to come out and to be a part of the fun, but it did grow faster than I expected. I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect to ever get to this level. I was going to be happy with 20 cars, and to have 50, I was just like over the hill.
We saw a big wreck at Delaware. You know, your division probably more than ever in this hot rod feels that pinch of those bad crashes because you can't get all the parts. Most of the cars got back together. Yeah. This crew really works together to help each other find what they need, right? And we see a great social media presence from everybody suggesting parts and cars and stuff like that. That's something you got to be proud of.
I'm very proud of the way our guys work together, and I'm on Kijiji every day looking for cars, looking for bodies, and if I see something I think somebody's going to like, I'm posting it for sale, you know, or any other cars, supply chains, you know, used parts, because like you said, parts are hard to find for these cars, and they have to be stock appearing parts, so it's not easy, but you know, we all do work together, and we did tear up a lot of stuff. Most of them, I think 90% of them did get put back together. There's still a couple working on them. They will be out this year. It took a bit longer for them to get parts and find bodies, replacement parts, but I think we're good. We're going to be golden.
The other half of the equation is the modifieds. That's had some great races and good events in the past year. You expecting the same again this season?
Absolutely, and I think everybody is taking notice of what Mr. Camrath has done the past few years, and nobody likes losing to the same car every week, so their guys are all home, stepping up their game, and it's going to be game on when we open up May 27th. Last year was competitive. I think it's going to be even more competitive this year.
All right, there's Dave Gainforth from Oscar, another one of the top divisions here in Ontario that we'll be following quite a lot of on G-Force TV this summer. Well, we're here with Fresh Stone Brands and Jen Booth. Jen, back in the racing game here with Fresh Stone Racing here at the Motorama show. How cool is it to get you guys back involved in the sporting world, Fresh Stone making their new jump in?
You know, we're incredibly excited. It's a great opportunity. We're super excited to be able to share the partnership that we have with you guys at the track. Monday, August 14th, back on the dirt. It's going to be phenomenal. And it's just, you know what, to be able to be back here, for me, you know, it's especially special just because back when I first started doing the racing things, it was before COVID. COVID locked us down. So to be here at Motorama, see the fans and just, you know, the appreciation and giving back, it's phenomenal.
Let's talk a bit about your experience, you know, coming out of the Pinty's world with all that stuff. A lot of the experience you guys had was so sports related. Are we going to see the same type of thing with Fresh Stone?
Yeah, I think, I mean, you know, it was a model that worked, so to be able to carry that over here at Fresh Stone is going to be very special for us. You know, lots of learnings from there as well, and, you know, as we build this brand, it's just, you know, being able to share it with everyone and, you know, get everyone to jump on board and hopefully get their buy-in.
All these new fresh products, it's super exciting for us to be helping bring those to market. Is that something you're pumped about too? You know, these fresh products nobody's seen before. It's an exciting new time.
Absolutely. You know what? It's making people think differently. That's really what's unique about our products and what sets us apart from the competition. You know, it's being able to use them hot and cold and just, you know, experimenting with different flavors, you know, whether it's a side, a main. So, you know, it's just really educating people and making them think differently.
So our big race at Ush Weekend is now going to be the Fresh Stone Dirt Classic on Monday, August 14th.
Yeah.
Super excited about that, to have you guys back involved. You were there and saw the dirt race last year. Is that part of the reason you guys decided to get involved again?
1,000%. You know what? It was a phenomenal show. The turnout, just the energy that you guys put on, and the racing was itself, the drivers, the teams, you know, it was amazing. And so to be able to experience that again, like, I can't wait, honestly.
Now, sports fan that I'm jealous of all the stuff you get to do. Well, what's your favorite sport? From the Fresh Stone side, what's the event you look forward to going to yourself? It doesn't have to be racing. You don't have to lie to us. Tell us, what's the one thing you like to do?
You know what? It's all of them because they're all unique in their own way. It's seeing the fans, and not to keep saying the same thing, but it is. It's the loyalty that you see, racing in particular. I've witnessed that full transparency, you know, learning it all myself, getting more ingrained in it, and it's really just being at the track. And so, yeah, I would say honestly that's kind of where I'm at.
Well, we love hearing that answer. Thanks, Jen. Jen Booth from Fresh Stone Brands. We're going to talk a lot about Jen and everything we've got going on because it's a multi-year deal. We're super proud to be with you, Fresh Stone, and everything's cool. We appreciate it. I'm here with Kenny Holmes. Ken, big day for you. I mean, this is your baby that Bad Chad's going to chop the roof off. They're doing the measurements here. Are you ready to see your girl?
We're doing it live right now.
Are you ready to see your girl get a haircut?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's coming down 2.5 inches, and you know, how low can you go? I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe Sunday I'll be going home in a convertible or, you know, a mail slot for a windshield. So I'm very excited about it.
Have you talked how much you're going to take the roof down?
We've talked several times, you know. Everybody's got a different, you know, idea with this and that, how low it should go. And, yeah, so Bad Chad's the guy, you know. I've got 100% confidence in him. he's an awesome fabricator. So, I kudos to him, whatever he wants to do.
How long have you had this car, Kenny?
Well, I've only had the car since 2018. I've known about the car for almost 35 years. It was in a garage of a house I rented for 22 years. The guy would never sell me the car. And it's funny, I used to chain my Harley to the front bumper just because, you wanted my bike, you had to take the car. But the gentleman I bought it off of, he's 103 years old, lives in Hamilton, and he still drives. He said if the weather's good enough tomorrow, he's going to drive down from Hamilton and watch the chop.
All right, Kenny, well, we'll keep our fingers crossed your baby comes out looking better than it started.
Oh, it looks great now. What do you mean when it started? So thank you. But the car was originally built as a hot rod back in 1957 through 63, parked in 1965. It sat in a garage for over 50 years. So I'm really gung-ho about this car, and you never know. I'd love to try even a couple hot laps on a Schwiegen with it this year. So
we'll have an opportunity for you to get out. You get back there and keep your eye on your baby.
Thank you very much.
Kenny Holmes going to get his car chopped here by Bad Chad coming up right away, guys. It's Garrett Teamersma. Garrett, you're a face that we've seen a lot on the channel. Talk about how you use G-Force to maximize your racing opportunities.
Well, it was a pretty cool opportunity that about a year ago you guys kind of came to me and I was coming to you about creating some video content, and obviously we ran with it. I ended up creating a whole video series through the winter of 2021 in how to build a super stock. It created a lot of views, it created a lot of buzz and hype, and realistically it helped me get a new sponsor. All the video stuff with you and G-Force, etc. It's just really promoted my name, promoted my brand, promoted my sponsors, and they all love it. I mean, all of our sponsors came back on for 2023, and I sincerely believe that the vlogs on G-Force were a huge part of that.
Hey man, anything we do to help. What's your plan for this year though, as you get ready to compete in 2023?
Well, for the first time ever, we're not going to be running full-time at Sunset Speedway. We're going to be running a part-time schedule everywhere. We're going to be running for the Quick Superstock Championship, as well as running part-time at Peterborough and traveling to the other speedways all around the province in order to be prepared for all the big events for when the cameras are there and the big checks are there.
So you had a good season last year. I think we thought your whole season went away at Peterborough. So one night can really kind of ruin things for you. How do you put that together to try and make sure all 5 of those big nights count?
It's hard, it's really hard with a 5-race series. That's something my dad and I, my crew chief, have talked about, how to maximize those 5 races. And I think that our part-time schedule this year is going to allow us to travel to the speedways the week before a big event, so that way we can practice and kind of dial in our car to be as prepared as possible for the big events. And I think that's going to play a huge part in our consistency and hopefully our success.
Which track do you feel most comfortable at?
Ironically, Sunset Speedway was my worst track for many years, but right now I feel more confident than ever at Sunset. I won 3 in a row last year, starting with the Quick race, and I almost won a 4th in a row. I had finished 2nd on the championship night. I got my first championship at Sunset, and up until then I was really good at Flamborough, but now I feel really good at Flamborough, Sunset, and we need to go to Peterborough to improve.
I'll ask you something I've been asking some of the other drivers today. What's Garrett's biggest strength and biggest weakness?
I would definitely suggest our consistency is probably our biggest strength. I mean, looking at the stats on the United Racing Series website, out of the 13 starts we've made over the last 3 years with the series, we have 11 top 5s and 12 top 10s. The only time we didn't was when we crashed at Peterborough last year. So our biggest strength is our consistency, but our biggest weakness probably is sometimes we try to do a little bit too much ourselves, and maybe we need a little bit more help from partners, and that's what we're working on this year. We're working to kind of work with some other teams or reach out to some other teams and try and find some new information to dial in this setup and hopefully get to a point where we can be a top 3 car at any speedway.
Right on. Garrett Teamersma, one of the guys to watch for sure out on the Quick Superstock Series, and one of the stars you're going to see here on G-Force TV coming this summer. us here on this special edition of G-Force TV at the Motorama Car Show. All kinds of awesome stuff going on here this weekend, and if you missed it, make sure you catch it next year when it comes back to town. It's the official kickoff for everything here in Ontario, and you don't want to miss it. Thanks for being with us here today, and hopefully you enjoyed this special edition of G-Force TV.